yourself, cause you're worthy. Cause when you honor, respect, and you praise thee, nothing good comes from the lack of love and stuff. If you don't think that you're valuable enough, never live life like you're stuck. Put your crown on and queen up. Hey, a queen up. Hey, a queen up. Hey, queen up. Hey, queen up.
All right, ladies. Yes, I'm so excited. This is the corner, and the Queen's Corner is where we highlight Black-owned businesses. Somebody we've supported, somebody we've purchased something from, right? This is what we do in the Queen's Corner, and we love doing that. So let me tell you what I'm wearing.
Okay.
All right, I'm wearing this fabulous handmade brooch by Yvonne Designs. You can find her on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that lovely?
Oh my God, I
love it.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Wow, what is it made out of?
It's made out of paper, actually.
Wow.
Right. Beautiful, very elegant, very lightweight. I love it. And she's going to give a 10% discount for anybody who orders and says Clean Up Chronicles. All right. Yvonne Designs. And Yvonne Designs on Instagram. All right. Okay, all right, Queen. What are you wearing? What are you wearing?
I am wearing Cindy & Co. Yes, I am.
Girl, that's your favorite store, huh?
Yes, it is. This is my favorite store. But get this, I am also wearing Lashes by Aesthetically Yours.
Oh,
so I have on two black designers.
Oh, now see, now you gonna go down?
Two black labels today, honey.
Well, let me tell you, you know what? Now take it back, Queen. Let me tell you, I'm wearing three queens today. Oh yeah. This outfit is by V74 Boutique. V74, right there in Miami Gardens, 183rd and 441. Right? Vanessa is the owner.
Okay.
Yes, and then I'm also wearing, y'all know this unit from last week?
Yes.
All right, by Pinup Dolls.
Yes.
Sade.
I love it.
Pinup Dolls on Instagram.
Well, don't forget about Cindy & Co. at www.cindyandco.
Fabulous. We love it.
Okay, so what are you wearing?
What you wearing?
Well, ladies, what I am wearing cannot be seen. Okay? Because what I'm wearing is, we don't normally promote celebrities on this show, or we have not yet.
Right.
That's a yet.
Right.
Yes.
We heading in that direction.
Yes.
Okay, what Queen
And
talking
I
about?
am wearing this lovely fragrance. Can you guys smell it?
Girl, let me smell it, girl.
You do smell delicious.
It is delectable.
Yes.
Okay, so
I
what are
am
you wearing?
This wonderful fragrance by Nicki Minaj.
Oh.
And let me tell you guys, she is in all, the fragrance is in all local stores.
Okay.
And it is under $15.
Wow.
And it smells fabulous.
Wow.
Okay? So big ups to Nicki Minaj and her new fragrance.
Well,
Big
Queen,
ups.
I am going to definitely purchase that fragrance now that you let me know that Miss Nikki is the creator of
Yes,
it.
yes.
Big ups to you, girl.
All right. Well, Nikki. All right. So what we about to do, Queens? Let's get it started.
Hello, welcome everyone. I am Retivia Chisholm,
And I am Jay West.
And I am Bridget Pierre.
and together we are
Queen Up Chronicles.
The purpose of the show is to promote Black-owned businesses in South Florida.
Exactly, because we believe that everything that we need is in our community. We have doctors' offices, we have law firms, we have insurance agencies, we have everything that we need.
So we will be promoting businesses within the Miami-Dade, Broward County, Palm Beach, and Monroe counties.
Right.
So if you would like to be a featured business on our show, you may contact us at the information listed below.
All right. Say, listen, sis. We live in Miami, Florida, right?
Yes,
Yes.
we do.
We live in a poppin' city.
Girl,
And
I love
girlfriend,
it.
guess what we got coming up 2020?
What we got? What
Maybe
we got?
the Super Bowl.
All right.
Yes, the Super Bowl.
Let's get it started.
Let's get it started. Okay. But with the Super Bowl, we can't deny that there's a little bit of controversy that's been brewing. Right?
Yes.
So it'll be social media.
Yes.
Right? Luke Skywalker brought it out.
Yes.
Right? And we're concerned about that.
Yes.
Right? Because we want to support our own. That's what we're about here at Queen Up Chronicles.
Right.
Right? Okay, so Retivia, you were talking about it behind stage, and I want you to really expound on that. So let's talk about it.
I feel, first and foremost, let me say this. I agree with Luther Campbell 100%.
Okay.
We live here in South Florida. There is a mecca of talent here in South Florida. I mean,
But what did Luke, wait a minute.
Luke-
What did he say, though?
Luke's position is, why bring in all this talent when we have talent right
But
here?
who are they bringing in?
They're bringing in J-Lo and Shakira.
What?
Come on, we have Rick Ross. We have Uncle Luke.
We have Trina.
Thank Thank you. We have Trick
We have
Daddy.
Pit Bull. We have Flow Rider.
Right.
Yes.
Well, we got the city girls popping.
Right. We have talent here. So to fly in talent, I
Yeah.
think it's a slap in the face, to be honest with you.
Okay.
What do you think?
I absolutely agree with you, girlfriend. Why can't we support our homegrown talent? We have so many people that can put on a great Super Bowl show. What do you think, Bridget?
Okay, well, that's a great point that you guys are making. But let's look at the other Super Bowls in the past.
Okay.
Okay. When Beyonce performed in New Orleans, she's not from New Orleans.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
And let's look at the other performers. The last time the Super Bowl was here in Miami, performing at the very same stadium, we had Prince. Prince is not from Miami.
That's true.
You know,
That's true.
so why this time? Why does it have to be different to where he is insisting that we have local performance? Now, keep in mind, the Super Bowl is for everybody.
Right.
It is.
It's an all-inclusive event.
I do.
is.
Right.
And
It really is.
I truly believe that the argument should be that if you're going to have a performer or performers,
Enunciate, Queen. Enunciate, boo. That's how we do it on Queen Now Chronicles.
everybody loves the Super Bowl. Even
Right.
people who don't watch football on
Right.
a normal basis. So we should bring in, I think, different genres.
Okay.
You know, pop, country.
I
Okay.
agree. I agree with
All
you.
types, you know, and so I just don't know what the big hype is, because in the past the Super Bowl hasn't really gotten local performance. So I was just wondering what
I agree
the
with you
hype is.
100%, but
Okay.
guess what? We're in a different era right now. We're in a different era where it's good to be black.
Right,
You
girl.
understand what I'm saying?
Yes, boo.
It's good to be black.
I'm here for it.
So why can't we have some type of black representation on that stage? If you want to bring J-Lo in, bring her in.
Okay.
You want to bring Shakira in,
Bring her in.
But let's get someone from South Florida as well. And I'm going to be honest, how I feel. Why can't we have an Uncle Luke on the stage? Why can't we have a Trina on the stage, or a Pitbull, or a Trick Daddy? Why can't we have, or a Flow Rider? Why can't we have one of them on the stage?
Now I'm with you, sis. I'm all for a good booty shaking contest. Right? But with that, we're going to take a commercial break. Stay tuned.
Hello everybody, and we're back. And Jay, listen, I'm all for a good booty shaking contest.
Okay.
But they need money too.
Right.
And they need good credit too.
Okay.
And that's what I want to talk about today.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Yes, they do need good credit. Yes,
Yes. I want to talk about tips on how to improve your credit.
Okay.
Okay, so the very first tip is going to be pay your bills on time, people.
Okay.
Okay? Because simply paying your bills on time helps you to increase your credit score.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All agencies keep tabs on that, and the minute that you're late, your credit will take a big hit on that.
Okay.
So just pay your bills on time.
Okay.
Second tip is going to be get credit for paying your utility bills. A lot of people don't have credit and they don't know where to start. You know, so if you have a credit card, use your credit card to have that reoccurring debt.
Okay.
Your phone bill, your cell phone bill, your light bill, you know, whatever it is, you know, your cable bill that you're going to be paying every month for anyway.
Okay.
Use your credit card to pay for that.
Okay.
Because
really?
then you will have, it'll show, boom, you made $100 withdrawal, and then now you're making $100 payment.
Okay.
So you're paying your cable bill and you're raising your credit score.
So you said something interesting. You said use your credit card, not your debit card, but your credit card.
Yes, your credit card, because you're trying to build credit.
Okay.
So what the credit companies are looking for is that you're spending money and you're paying it back on time.
Okay. Okay.
awesome.
So use your credit card to pay your household bills.
Yes.
Light bill, phone bill,
Yes.
water bill.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow,
Yeah.
very
Why
interesting.
not?
Very interesting.
Yes.
Okay. Tip number 3.
Tip number 3 is, if you're looking to build your credit, a lot of people go out and then start applying for credit. Okay, you walk into a store, you buy something, let's say the Gap. Oh, do you want to apply for a Gap credit card?
Okay.
You don't want to do that.
Okay.
Typically, you want to wait for every 6 to 8 months to apply for new credit, because once you apply for credit, your credit is going to take a hard hit. Okay, that's a hard inquiry on your credit.
Okay,
You
so
don't
let me
wanna do
ask you.
that.
Let me ask you. So when you say hard inquiry, what does that mean?
Hard inquiry is where it shows that someone was looking into your credit to give you credit. Okay? So when you apply for credit, they're going to look at it to see how credit worthy you are. Okay? Now, if you go out and apply to 10 credit cards on one day, that's going to show on your credit. It's going to show that you're desperate, you're looking for credit, and guess what? They're not going to want to give it to you.
Okay. So that's a negative.
Exactly.
Okay.
So pace yourself. Okay? Those inquiries will stay on your credit report for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Okay? So every 2 years, one will fall off and then your credit points will go up. Okay? Eventually your credit points go up as the months go by.
Okay.
Okay? But if you do one every 6 to 8 months, now you are building up your credit history, and you're not taking such a hard hit on your credit rating.
Well, that's great information.
That's great information.
Yes.
Girl, but when we come back, I got a question for you, Queen. When we come back, I have a question, and I really need some answers, okay?
Okay.
So stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Queen Up Chronicles.
And we're back, and Miss Bridget is going to continue educating us on credit.
I had a credit card, right? I paid like $5,000 off. Purchased some furnishing for my home, and I paid it the $5,000 off. I hadn't used it for like 6 months. Then I get a letter saying that I'm going to be closed out for non-activity. Is that crazy or what?
Yes, credit card companies will do that to you. Okay, so you have to keep in mind or keep a list of all your credit cards. Now, I'm all about being debt free. Okay. So I'm all for you paying off that card. You know what I'm saying? However, when you pay off a card, depending on that company's policy, you want to keep in mind the last time you used it. Even if you want to go back, buy something and return it, or if you want to just buy something small and pay it off. Typically, a credit card company will shut you down or close your account every 2 years. If there's no activity at all, then they will close out your account. Now, closing out your account will also kind of bring your credit score down because the more credit that is available to you, the more credit worthy you are.
But that's crazy. They could have given a sister a warning. A warning shot?
Yeah, some companies will give you a warning, like Best Buy.
Well, thank you for that information, sis. But what I want you to tell us who we got coming up, girl. I'm excited. Girl, who we got coming, boo?
We have a show for all shows today. Okay.
Yes.
Listen, we have a legal defense attorney coming up today. And this woman has an amazing story about how she became incarcerated. And that inspired her to become an attorney and to defend future people who have become incarcerated.
Awesome.
I love it.
Yes, her name is Kaysia Earley, and I can't wait to start talking to her. Also today, we have a gentleman who owns his very own insurance agency. And he's going to come on and tell us about how he got started on his very own franchise.
Wow. Yes. I love it. Let's get it started.
And we are back with Mr. Frantz Jean-Baptiste, an agency owner of We Insure Agency. So thank you so much for blessing us with your presence this afternoon. We really appreciate you being here with Queen of Chronicles today.
Thank you so much for taking time out to be here.
Thank you for having me, ladies. It's a pleasure. Happy to be here.
So tell us about your company.
My company is a property and casualty company, and I provide insurance for autos, home, and businesses.
All right, great. So tell us, what are some of the factors that will determine a person's rate?
Lots of different things. Where you live, the region, that can cause a big rate increase or decrease. Insurance score, like I mentioned, your age, your sex, your gender, things of that nature will determine what your rate will be.
And if you're purchasing a car, then I guess the type of car matters.
Oh, definitely.
Does color ever matter?
I've
heard getting a red car.
Right, I've heard getting a red car goes
up.
The
rumor is if you get a red or yellow sports car, the rates will be higher, but that's sort of a myth.
Okay.
But if you do buy a Ferrari as opposed to a Hyundai, your rates will definitely be different.
Right. We're on a whole nother level of cars.
Yes.
Right.
But I'm about that life though.
Gotcha.
Okay, the queens are about that life.
But there is something to that though, where the myth got started, because most sports cars come in red or flashy colors, right?
That's right.
And those type of cars seem to get into a lot of accidents. So when the actuary, when they rate, when they set up the rates for a certain type of cars, it turns out those cars happen to be the higher rates. So that's where that came from.
So when we're talking about, let's say, age, you mentioned age as a factor.
Yes.
Okay, because I have 2 teenage daughters who are going to be driving, and they're going to need insurance.
Well, God bless you, Bridget.
I know, I need all the blessings I can get. Right. How does that affect my rate?
Okay.
How is it going to affect my rate once I insure them?
Good question, because I just went through this, and my sister's about to go through this right now. My niece just turned 16, and the quote difference for her monthly payment, it's about $200, $300 difference for adding my niece to her policy.
Wow.
But it's different for every situation, you know. There's factors involved. Of course, if you have a son, oh God, forget about it. Your rates through the roof, because boys are more riskier than females.
Wow.
So I have friends who have teenage sons, and the rate that they are paying as opposed to the daughter, it's a big difference.
But that's kind of biased, don't you think? Like sexual bias, like because he's a boy, he's really gonna be reckless as opposed to a girl. Girls can listen. This is 2019, honey. Girls are very reckless.
Right.
Yes and no, because everything is based on statistics. So when I was a kid, I know what I used to do as opposed to my sister driving. So my sister was a safer driver. So there's some logic and some facts behind that.
Right. Okay, so that means the queens are more responsible.
I would say so.
Exactly.
But if you watch how I drive as opposed to my wife, I don't think that's a fair assessment.
Now with that being said, with queens being more responsible, we're gonna take a commercial break. Stay tuned.
Okay, hi everybody, and we're back. And we have Mr. Frantz Jean-Baptiste here with us today of We Insure Agency. So tell us, Frantz, we were just speaking about credit and financing. How did you get your business up and running?
It all started with a conversation. My wife and I was just joking on the couch. She was saying, "What do you want to do when you grow up?" At the time, I was working for an independent insurance agency in Sunrise, Florida, and I told her I like to be a broadcaster. You know, thinking we just joking, and she said we should make that happen. And I told her, well, at this age, I don't think that's gonna happen. But what I could really do is start an agency. And then her face just changed, and she said, "You have all the qualifications, all the skills. I'll back you 100%. Whatever you want to do, go for it."
Can you give it up for a sister
That's the queen.
Okay.
Backing up her man.
Right. Now that's a queen up move. Okay.
So,
Queen supporting her man.
So where are you located?
I'm located in Pembroke Pines, Florida. My address is 8569 Suite 212, in Pembroke Pines, Florida 33024.
Oh, okay, right here in Broward County.
Right in Broward County.
So, Frantz, how long have you been in business?
I've been in business going into my 3rd year. I've done insurance for over 10 years, and my own business going to 3 years now.
Wonderful, congratulations.
Thank you.
And how is it going? How is your business running right
Well,
now?
I have to tell you, the first year, you get nervous. You're like, oh man, what did I do? I gave away my salary.
Your safety net, right?
Yeah, I gave away my safety net. But I have good friends and families, and I do a lot of marketing and networking. And slowly, you just saw the business climbing. Every month was better than the last month. I've made some mistakes my first year that I didn't make my 2nd year, and I doubled the business my 2nd year.
Oh,
Very
wonderful.
good.
So-
Congratulations.
So experience is a big teacher, you know. So far so good. So I'm on pace.
I want to give a shout out to your wife, because if it wasn't for her, he would not be here.
Her name is Lisa. Her name is Lisa. I thank her every day, because without her, this would not be possible. Ladies, thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Oh, it was a
Thank you
pleasure
for coming.
Yes.
Congratulations on the show. I like what you guys are doing. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Okay.
And you know what? For every customer that comes in and buy a policy from me, and if they mention Queen of Chronicles, I will gift them a $10 gift card.
Oh, wow. For that.
Oh, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you. So viewers, you heard it straight from the owner.
Okay.
That's right.
$10 waiting for you if you purchase a policy.
Yes.
That's
Queen
it.
up.
Queen up.
Queen up.
Queen up.
And with that, we're going to take a commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to be on the couch. We're going to be talking to defense attorney, Kaysia Earley. Stay tuned. I am so excited. Today we have an attorney. She's a defense attorney and she also practices personal injury law. Her name is Kaysia Earley. She's the founder of the Earley Law Firm. Please welcome her.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you so much for blessing us with your presence today.
Absolutely.
I understand that you are a defense attorney. So tell me, how did you get started with law?
Okay, so I grew up in Liberty City, Miami, and my fourth grade teacher went around the room and was asking everyone, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Okay.
And everyone was saying the same thing, lawyer, doctor, policeman. I just wanted to be different. So I looked around the room and I saw a bunch of presidents, and I was like, well, I'll say I want to be president. So when she came to me, I said, I want to be president. However, she tried to bust my bubble. And she said, so what do you see up there? And I'm like, I see men. But then when she went further, she said, and what else do you see? And I said, white men.
Okay.
At that point, I got where she was going, and she said, pick another profession.
Oh, wow.
And that hurt me to the core. To this day, I don't even know what I said after that.
Right.
But I knew that I went home crying. And then my mother told me, you know, she wanted to find out what happened. And I told her, and from that day on, it was Operation Become President, just to prove her wrong.
Right.
So what I did, being the first generation attorney in my family, I was the only person in my family to ever graduate from college and law school.
Okay.
I backtracked and I said, well, every president or the majority of the presidents became lawyers.
Okay.
And so that's why not only did I become a lawyer, but I also interned on Capitol Hill for 8 years.
Oh, wow.
My desire is to become president. It's still there, but there's so much work to be done in the criminal justice field. So that's why I kind of chose criminal justice as a profession.
Okay, now that's wonderful. And it's so disheartening. You see how a teacher can really kill your dreams and kind of make you doubt yourself. Because she showed you the white man and the white man as being presidents. So that kind of cut you out. I mean, well, actually cut you out. So you segued and you decided to become an attorney. So what made you ultimately become an attorney? Expound on that a little bit.
So I ended up going to Howard University, Bison. I ended up going to Howard University. In my junior year, I was working at a shoe store. And when all of my friends found out that I was working there, the main thing people want is a hookup when they find out where you're working.
Absolutely.
And so I gave away discounts. They would come to my register, I would discount the shoes. And I knew that that was against store policy, but I figured, the worst thing that could happen to me, I get fired, on to the next job. Well, not only did I get fired, I got arrested that night and I was incarcerated. And during my sentencing, the judge sentenced me. Well, here's a crazy thing about that. So the judge that was my original judge, he was sick that day, but he had a son that was dying of cancer. So before he would issue his sentence, he would say, well, because you don't care about your life and I have a dying son, he would give you the maximum sentence for that charge, or he would give you a hard sentence. But he was sick that day, so I would have had a year incarcerated, and I ended up doing 30 days because I was pregnant. But the pivotal point of that, I was pregnant, and when the jail found out, they put me in solitary confinement, away from general population. But to me, that was punishment on top of punishment. Because first of all, I'm in jail. At least I had 2 other people in my cell I could talk to. They can encourage me. But then you take me out of general population. You put me in a room for 23 hours out of the day. And it was at that moment I gave my life to Christ. And when I say I gave my life to Christ, it was either surrender fully and allow God to lead every aspect of my life. And I did that because he gave me a promise in jail that I would become an attorney. And 14 years later,
here you are.
Here I
Congratulations on that. Congratulations on that. So Kaysia, at this point, are you considered a convicted felon?
That's a good question. So what happened was, in Virginia, they suspended my sentence. So after I did the time incarcerated and then the 3 years probation and the restitution and the apology letter and the community service, not a convicted felon, but the felony is still on my record. And I could have expunged it, but if I expunge my record, it takes away my story. We wouldn't be here.
Right.
And that's kind of the crux of how I started with the law firm. It's just amazing how it's full circle, but I refuse to allow my past to dictate my future.
Exactly.
And look how good God is. I transitioned from being that felon, incarcerated, to now fighting for justice for my clients now. That's exactly where I want to be a criminal defense
So what is
attorney.
the name of your law firm?
It's Earley Law Firm.
And where is it located?
Well, my main office is in Plantation, but I take cases majority in Broward County as well as Miami.
Okay.
And I focus primarily on criminal defense, but I also do personal injury, slip and falls, car accidents. Two different worlds, but the main experience that I bring to the table is litigation. I've tried over 100 trials in less than 5 years.
Wow.
The majority of which have been dismissed or not guilty.
You go,
I
girl.
represented over 1,000 clients.
Wow.
And I stopped counting after 250 cases dismissed. That is lives changed for the better.
Right.
And you're holding the state of Florida to their burden of reasonable doubt and innocent until proven guilty.
Wow. Wow. Oh, that's amazing. That's really amazing. And I commend you. We celebrate you, Queen. I think that deserves a round of applause.
So tell us, what's in your future?
Whew,
Can we say judge?
Not yet, but I do plan on eventually running for politics because right now I know what the laws are because I fight against the laws every day for my clients, and the only way that I can change that is to be a senator or in the House of Representatives to change the laws, whether it's for violation of probation, whether it's the minimum mandatory sentences for, again, nonviolent crimes. And this is, so right now, maybe politics, way down the line, maybe a judge, and in God's timing, president.
Right. Okay.
You heard it here first.
Judge Earley. Yes. Okay, sis, but listen, you know, I was perusing your social media.
Yes.
I'm nosy like that. So I saw that you're connected with another a very valuable sister. I saw something called iCare for Inmates.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Very motivating, very powerful, and again, it's about helping the community, keeping the families connected, and I commend you for that. Now, I'm interested in learning more about that.
Let me tell you, the movement is real, okay? I met this young lady when I used to be a public defender in court, and then I transitioned into becoming a private attorney, and I eventually represented her boyfriend. He was being charged with a trafficking charge. And I was fighting, and I took this case very personal, and unfortunately, he ended up getting a 5-year sentence, which was better than the 15 years.
Oh, absolutely.
But every day of incarceration is a day lost. And so after his incarceration, she came up with this company, iCare for Inmates, and let me tell you, it is absolutely amazing, not only for inmates, but the families. And then the community. So it reaches a broad audience, and I'm just super excited about this movement.
Okay, wonderful.
Okay, great. So why don't we take a break and bring this fabulous young lady out onto the set, okay?
Great.
We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. And now we're going to be bringing out Markita Heard, who is the COO of iCare for Inmates. Okay, so Bree, thank you so much for coming. So tell us all about this great big organization that you started.
So iCare from Inmates is basically inspired from my loved one that was incarcerated, and me actually seeing how the books and the programs that I've been providing him actually helping him with the rehabilitation process. So the whole process of iCare for Inmates is to reduce recidivism by providing knowledge and guidance to our loved ones that's incarcerated, by providing self-help books or how to apply for EIN, how to do business marketing, being that people, when they get incarcerated, they come out, they go out and do the same thing. Why?
Right.
Because they didn't have that guidance, you know, to help them like, hey, I'm actually better than this. Hey, you know what? I don't got $1, but I know how I can go, you know, start a business or, you know, go to different companies that don't require, you know, an actual background. So iCare for Inmates basically just help them through the process that they're in there, you know.
Okay, great. So you're helping them while they're actually in jail?
Yeah, I'm actually helping them while they're in jail.
Okay,
So
great.
how long has this business been in existence?
Well, my loved one was incarcerated, got incarcerated last year, November. I've been working on this business all year, and now it's actually manifest to this.
Oh, wow.
So it's like I started off as a small vision, and I feel like it's my purpose.
Okay.
And while he was in there, I'm like praying, God, what is going on? He's such a good person. Like, what is going on? But I had to accept it. And thanks to Kaysia Earley, my lawyer, she allowed me to accept it and make something really great that can help so many different families. And reducing recidivism, you save money in jails. You'll be able to lower gun violence, different things to make that person better, to reduce crime, rates.
But Markita, what I find amazing is that you turn your painful situation into your purpose.
Exactly.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yes.
I love that.
That's God.
Wow. That's, okay, girl, bring it up top.
Because when it's your purpose, I feel like when it's your purpose, it's just a job. It's something that you actually feel from the heart, and you want to be able to give back to the community, give back to the people, because it hurts. So why not make the best out of it?
Exactly.
What are the services you really offer to the inmates?
Well, we offer a subscription service where we provide personalized notebooks that you see right there. We can put your mom face, daughter face, sister, brother face on it. We want to make it more personalized. We offer self-help books. We offer health books, entrepreneur books, anything that can help really guide you while you're in there. Also included inside the iCare for Inmates care packages, we include the trap card, the avoid the trap cards.
Trap card. Okay, so what exactly is a trap card?
Okay, so the trap card was created to let all of our clients or inmates know their basic legal rights. And traps, it's because there's traps set out there for those who don't know their legal rights. So T stands for don't get tricked. An officer will lie to you to obtain incriminating information. R stands for be respectful. No matter if you think the officer is wrong, I always tell my clients a dead man can't talk. Be respectful. A stands for you have a right to a free attorney if you can't afford one, and that's called a public defender. P stands for never give permission for an officer to search your house, car, or belongings. But just don't say, don't search me. Say, I don't consent to this search. Because when you put that legal terminology out there, a light bulb goes off.
Right.
That officer knows he's not dealing with a dumb person. This person either knows their legal rights, or they know someone, a family lawyer, that has given them knowledge about their legal rights. And last but not least, S stands for silence is golden. I always tell my clients to not speak without the presence of an attorney. These are your basic legal rights from the Constitution, the 4th Amendment, the 5th Amendment, and the 6th Amendment. And we give inmates these rights, or sometimes I give my clients these rights whenever I meet them. And I always say you can place this card on your visor. So if you forget it, although I would love for them to commit it to memory, if you forget it, this is what you say.
Right.
Okay, great.
Wonderful.
I think that is an awesome idea. Some regular civilians on the street need those cards.
Absolutely.
Honestly, because they don't know how to conduct themselves when they are stopped by the police, and having a quick note card like that can really, like you said, save their life so they can live another day.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's really good.
So you guys have become a tag team duo, huh?
Yeah, tag team duo.
Okay. Honey, sisters empowering sisters.
Exactly.
That's what it's about.
For the movement.
I love it.
Exactly.
And it's birthed out of our pain. Like
Exactly.
you said, we had the experience of either being incarcerated or having a loved one incarcerated, and it's nothing like promoting your purpose. And
Yes.
this is
Exactly. Definitely got hurt.
Congratulations, Markita, on that.
Thank you.
Keep it going, sis.
Of course. Thank you.
When we come back, we'll be at the table with Madia's Caramel Cake Company. Thank you for joining us.
So we're back, and we're in the kitchen with Madia's Caramel Cake Company, who is a proud sponsor of the Queen Up Chronicles show. So they brought over a nice peach cobbler for us today. See how it's packaged nicely. So let's uncover and enjoy.
Well, I'm going to tell you, honey, now, Madia, I already thanked you for the 5 pounds last show. I want to thank her for these 5 pounds this show, okay? Because I'm going to enjoy this peach cobbler.
Oh my gosh.
And I
this
must
smells
say,
so good.
I think Madia's Caramel Cake Company is putting on pounds because my dress is a little bit tight today.
Honey, these hips don't lie, honey. All right. But as a matter of fact, ladies, we still have our guest on the set. So why don't we bring them up?
Absolutely.
Okay, come on up, Kaysia.
Go now.
Yes, honey.
Waiting for this moment.
Come on and share some of
Get
these.
some of these pounds.
Share some of these pounds with us.
Yes.
Okay. All right now. Can we pay you? Can we pay you with one of these peach pies?
Let me tell you, I don't know what the topping is made out of, but it is so good.
So if you are interested in ordering any of Mother's Caramel Cake Company products, please go to her website at www.Mother's Caramel Cake Company and place your orders, and they will be delivered at your door. If you would like them to be shipped, they are shipping orders as well. Thank you for tuning in to Queen Up Chronicles. Remember, you are valuable.
You are worthy.
And you are always enough.
Queen up.